See, some people know how to win. They always win. See, that's me. No matter what, nothing can stop me from winning.
So Deadline have given us some huge news that there is a possibility there could be another spin-off, and the rumors are London. So in this video we're going to run through the headline of Starz Programming-in-Chief discussing the possibility of resurrecting Ghost and expanding the universe overseas with potentially a London-based spin-off, and how they can integrate actors like Ashley Walters, Michael Ward and so many more, because I'm sure they've looked at the success and popularity of Top Boy and realized there is definitely a market they could tap into. So as long as they keep the fans invested, the Power fans will follow. So we're gonna run through the endless possibilities of what they can bring to the Power universe. So stick with this video till the end. Now, on the resurrection of Ghost, the article reads, while the universe does continue to expand, fans refuse and can't let go of a character at the center of the tale, James Ghost St. Patrick, portrayed by Omari Hardwick in Power. The finality of his death in the final season of the series at the hands of his own son Tariq is the one that viewers continue to question. And Catherine Busby said, I don't think you're alone in that hope, but Ghost died. But his story does continue in Power Book 2 Ghost, which centers on Tariq following the events of Power as he begins to establish himself as an underworld boss. So could they bring him back? Now, I recently did a video on Tariq's worst nightmare, being his final moment is when it makes sense to bring a hallucination scene of Ghost and this natural transition from Kanan to his father, where the story comes full circle to the original Power and him accepting Ghost was right. And you can't have the story of Power Book 2 Ghost finishing without at least bringing Omari Hardwick back as Ghost once, even if it is in a hallucination scene, because I do think they dropped the ball on Omari Hardwick not doing the voiceover when Tariq read the letter in jail, but it was still one hell of a scene. But Omari Hardwick and the character of Ghost is still a huge draw for the audience, and I think they know that, but I'm sure there's still a large portion of the audience and those also watching this video asking the question, could they bring back Ghost alive? And the programming chief said, I don't think you're alone in that hope, but I personally don't see Omari Hardwick coming back and playing Ghost. Not alive anyway, because he's made it known in a few interviews how he'd love to show the side of Ghost we never saw. So before he opened Truth, possibly his journey before he started working with Felipe Lobos, and essentially a different side to Ghost. So that's just my take on the resurrection of Ghost. Now, just before we get into the London-based spin-off, something I think which is worth mentioning in this video is this.
Okay, does Ghost have a secret sister? No, not a sister. Hint, 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 hint.
So I started a series called The Unsolved Power Mysteries, where I break down all of the unsolved power mysteries surrounding the characters in the Power universe, and one of them was, who is Ghost's brother? And this is something they could explore in the expanding Power universe if they don't decide to do it in Power Book 2 Ghost. So that's just something to keep in the back of our minds. And with that being said, let's discuss how this London-based spin-off could be possible. So, sources have revealed to Deadline there are plans for a London-based spin-off, a project Catherine Busby, president of the original programming of Starz, would neither confirm nor deny during a recent interview. I'm not at liberty to answer anything in that vein, except to say what we love about Power is the potential to spin off and to spin off successfully, which we have done, which in theory we would love to do again. I love that you're hearing it. So let's have a look at a few ways they could do this. Now, someone in Power Book 2 Ghost that they're introducing for Season 3 is Obi. Now, he's a young man schooled in Britain who knows his way around a gun, but is equally comfortable in a boardroom. And I do begin to wonder, with him being schooled in Britain, whether this could be part of a longer term plan to eventually branch off into a London-based spin-off. But circling back to the beginning of this video, I mentioned they need to keep the fans invested, and if he's a character or someone else, it doesn't need to be Obi, but someone who the fans really get invested in and want to know more of. For example, someone like Effie, who's mysterious and where we want to know more about her backstory. So it all comes down to them laying the foundation in either Power Book 2 Ghost or Force. So could there be a possibility where Obi is a part of a longer term plan and a big character in the Power universe who goes back to London where we follow his journey and backstory? And could a few of the characters in Power Book 2 Ghost cross over as well? But a few actors I would love to see in a London-based Power spin-off would be Ashley Walters, who plays Dushane, and also Michael Ward, who played Jamie on Top Boy. Especially with Top Boy being in his final season, there really is a market there to expand the Power universe into London. And 50 Cent also did tease a while back he'd love to work with Ashley Walters on another project, so let's just watch this space, because Dushane and Sully are the Ghost and Tommy of Top Boy. Of course, if they did decide to bring in Ashley Walters on board in a London-based Power spin-off, it wouldn't be as Dushane. They'd create a new character, but Ashley Walters would be the guy I would pick to lead a London-based Power show. So there's always been talk of a Power movie, something to do with what happened with Ghost and Tommy during a specific night before they opened Truth. And something I want to discuss is how they've done it with the Breaking Bad universe with El Camino, which was Jesse Pinkman's movie. So I can see the Power universe expanding and having a one-off movie at some point. And spoiler alert for those who haven't caught up with Better Call Saul, something they've done very well is break into the timeline of Breaking Bad and bring back Walter White and Jesse Pinkman, along with the whole Gene Takovic and Kim Wexler story. So where there was once talk of a Joe Proctor prequel, if they ever do go ahead with this, I would love for them to take a leaf out of Better Call Saul's book. But if they don't, they can also create limited series on backstories for characters like Joe Proctor, Dre, the Felipe Lobos and Mecca situation, and tie things into the Power timeline to close any loose ends or potential open plots and storylines. So there really is endless possibilities they can run with when it comes to spin-offs in Power, and we still haven't had any news on Influence. Whether that goes ahead, let's wait and see. But considering this article, I'm sure in the next year or two we're gonna hear about how the Power universe is expanding even further. So that's a breakdown of the latest news surrounding the Power universe and how Power never ends, because there really is endless possibilities and directions they can expand the Power universe. But my questions for you guys is, what would you like to see next? A Power movie, a Ghost prequel, a London-based spin-off, or whatever else you have in mind? Drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section on the expanding Power universe, as well as the resurrection of Ghost. And of course, if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power and Power universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.